after multiple people falling into a perpetual slumber, including a dear friend. Well, the world has become little less carefree, a little less slice of life, and more, oh shit, we've got to get stuff done. And with a character being somewhat of a comic relief, turned out to be, get this, an antagonist. Where are we going with this storyline? What is the motivations, reasoning, apart from, wanting to strip down a bit? Maybe that's just a side effect of something. We have to find out. So strap yourself down, get a drink. Let's begin. This side of the road is strangely empty. So is she rebelling because she had her project denied? Or she's just forging ahead anyway with it? So, for the advancement of science... Okay... Then couldn't she have just gotten a grant to do a trial project for something rather than having to go about it in this underhanded, criminal manner? Yeah, you got there about 4 hours too late. Did you really think that she wouldn't leave that unprotected? Anyone with a big plan like this would have security measures in place. Take good care of it. And this is where, they get into a car accident or something. Well, looks like her plans have been put on hold. The thing is, everyone outside doesn't know how important it is that for those 10,000 people there, it's just laying in the car. So she does have something to stand up to anti-skill. A backup. If her plan here was to connect 10,000 odd brains all together to create this massive network which can do shit, then what would happen if they had employed this on the Misaka sisters? They wouldn't be adverse to it either, because that's what they were kind of bred for. For science. It's a good thing that these organisations don't communicate that well. Oh, gull wing doors. This all advance in a line. Ooh. Forcibly controlling someone else's actions. Is that just a taxi? This is above his line of duty. He's just to ferry passengers around. It's like she's tapping into the hive mind thing that she created. And a few of them. One way to get it open. Which will connect them all together. For having 10,000 brains in connection, you'd think that something that they'd. Some skill, Esper ability that they'd use would be a bit more flashy. But it got the job done. Was the car always side on? Well, it's not going to stop her from trying, but at the same time, not being able to really predict what your opponent's going to do. If, well, yeah, true. It's just doing. You can give it the flashiest name you want. It's how you implement it. Hence, multi-skill. Is what is the big plan here for her? Because there's no real escape. Huh? Yeah. Move out the way. If we saw an enemy that had, say, water powers, you can think of all the different things that they can do with that. But just be able to pick out from a list of everything. She's hurt them already by getting them where they are now. And by putting around the message of this thing, oh, you can gain power, that's already done something to the public consciousness. Well, maybe not, but at least it's regulated. So is she just jaded about there's something else going on here? Or is there actually some grand plan that there's, about all these students that they're hang on, is she going to use the graviton bomb as well? Hmm. More than one person probably has a teleport ability, so I was going to question where she got that for a second. What, from a surprise attack from behind? Just play dead for a second, get her to drop her guard. We've seen that she can do a lot of stuff with her electric. Zap. We'll we'll see if she likes having a nap for a bit. Is she now getting? Well, I was going to say, is she now attached to the 10,000? Or is it just connecting to her own memory so we can get that backstory? So this is why she was saying about how she knows about the why they're training the kids to use abilities, etc. What a lovely name they've given them. Don't worry, kids, you're just an error. Yeah, my parents said the same thing. It is just tree mountain sensei. Uh, I was about to say, at least those kids are going to be slightly less of a handful than trying to teach high school kids or something. Looks like their plan succeeded in more than one way. Huh? It's more like they don't have a filter, so they just say. Ah. Every teacher goes through a. They have to eat on the same table? I don't think I could ever be a teacher. Usually when people slip and fall, they don't then stay sitting. And she looks incredibly dirty for just falling over. Huh. No, she's rescinding the offer. Really? You're running it for a single garment? How does she answer that? Rather than being affirmative or anything. How does that affect her view on children? But did she enjoy her time as a teacher, despite how troublesome and annoying it was? How about open the door, leave it for a second before walking in? If it continues to fail, they'll stop. Amazing. See, it's not all bad. It's just 95% terrible. And really, who's the child here? Congratulations. Oh. It's always great when you have bright red warning alerts and why is he looking? Oh, the results are to be expected, and who cares if we have to lose a few children? And right there, you saw her hopes in the future die. Oh. It was a little more visceral than I had imagined. Yep. The road itself collapsed with no help from outside measures. For science. Ah, overloading, yeah, that could never go wrong. It's not the first time, and it won't be the last of their human experimentations. So she, what, never gave up? She may be able to rectify some of the mistakes that she made. Maybe it's more... There was something in your application papers that didn't quite match up. Pulse? Ah. Well, that's... She's now got a good imprint on her face. I'm horrified. Why do I hear boss music? That might be why I hear boss music. Actually, that sounds like something would... Well, sounds like... That looks like something you'd see straight out of Dark Souls or something. So is that the physical manifestation of the network's Esper powers? So, with the ones that were used for the experiment initially, are they dead or are they sleeping like what was with the level up side effects? Because she was saying about how she was like trying to find a cure and save them, but it could be more of a metaphorical cure than a physical one for those 6 or however many it was. Well, assuming they only run the test once. Yep, that is the main thing. What the hell is that? What I like about Railgun and Index and all of this is that there isn't just an out-and-out evil. Everyone has got their own motivations and reasonings, and somewhat, well, more sound than others. For her, she was obsessed with finding a way to repent for past sins of all those children that she hurt. And even the scientist guys who were completely happy with how things went, sure, they may be ethically abhorrent, but the results of the science itself may do something for society. That's, what, possibly an upside? And when we think about entities that exist thanks to the combination of all these AIM fields and Esper minds, apparently some are disgusting, warped fetuses. And yet we also saw, what was her name, Hyorka? I think I know which one I prefer. But if you think about it, she's willing to put 10,000 in, well, not peril, but she's willing to effect 10,000 to save a few. Sure, she's trying to make up for past mistakes, but I feel like the scale has somewhat grown. But already with her tired demeanour, the bags under her eyes, the horribly bloodshot eye doesn't exactly help. But apparently gone are the days where we can take it easy. We are now facing veritable monsters and quite a large construction bill to replace the highway. But still, there's a little bit more Railgun up for you. So if you enjoyed this one, let me know. I think we all want to see a giant floating fetus. And if you agree with me, I should be able to see you in the next episode. So to make sure you don't miss it, subscribe to the channel, join onto my Discord. Most importantly though, get yourself some rest. And I'll see you in the next one. If you want to be part of my tragic backstory, then consider joining onto my Patreon now. Because so far, Sal, Railgun, Electricant, Arthea, Denima 1997, Shiwan, Jennifer Rojas, Mecha, Stinsfire, Big Boy, Dark Shadow 7899, Mats, and everyone else. Well, I know that they are forever going to be etched into my memory. And thanks to them, the science experiment that is my channel gets to continue a little longer.